All right.
All right.
And then let me start the presentation here. Okay. All right. So we are here today to talk about Paper.Li, and I'll get into what that means in a few minutes. As part two, we did this a couple months back. We had another program in between, and this is basically an online newsletter. We're putting this together, especially if you have particular expertise or an area that you want to see more information on, or something that you could provide your clients with more information. So, of course, we'll just get some of the housekeeping out of the way here. If you have no audio, you can call in using your phone, and also we would like you, if you have a message for us, please use the chat window, or if you have any questions. And if you can, if you're not talking, mute your mic. That would be beneficial to all of us. And then at the end of the presentation, in a day or two, we put all these live presentations up on inbusinessseo.net for you to take a look at. All right, so we'll go ahead there. We'll introduce ourselves here. We're the Faustino brothers. We build powerful apps for the stars. We've got an update coming up for the Tull app, and we're very excited because they're coming to Tampa Bay once again in November, and we're organizing a meet and greet. We have something new, Rick. While you're here, we have a copyright now for the Tull app, the programming for it, and there's our serial number for the copyright, and that was about a year and a half, almost 2 years in the making, going back and forth with the government office and describing what we do and how it's different than anybody else. But we have that now, and it's kind of a boilerplate or a template that we can use for other endeavors. All right, we're going to do some introductions now. Russell is not here at the moment. He's our programmer and most valuable programmer, MVP, that has got that recognition from Microsoft. He's worked for several organizations, top-level organizations in the IT world, and he does our programming. Myself, Gary Faustino, I do website design, business social media, and marketing, and also the look and feel of all our apps and websites for all the products that we do here at Faustino Brothers in Business Links Network, in Business SEO, and Design for Communication, which is basically my bread and butter. Rich, if you'd like to introduce yourself there, you got a little graphic there, Week of Rock. Want to talk about that?
Yeah, we got Week of Rock for 11 years. Rich Faustino here, musician and teacher, and I'm going to be starting a new Week of Rock very shortly. It's called the Youth Band of Crossroads. We're going to do a 7-week experience. It's something brand new I'm going to try on Saturday afternoons. But similar to the Week of Rock, we have the same students come in for 7 weeks, and we're going to be doing a Christmas show between now and then. But very much excited about this newsletter, because I work on the Tull newsletter, and it's the same content that Gary's talking about, and it's really exciting to be able to do that.
All right.
Can you take it back?
Yeah. So you were in your 11th year, right, with the Week of Rock?
Yeah, 11 years.
Back in August, right?
Yeah.
That was fast. So you're going on 12 next year.
And we have two things to say about that. We now have our weekofrock.com site and Week of Rock on Facebook.
That's right. All yours. Okay. This is your opportunity, Rick, to introduce yourself and be recorded.
Sure. Well, very quickly, I'm Rick Saltarelli. I'm the owner and the Chief Fun Officer, I like to call myself, of Cruise Planners. We're an American Express travel representative. We do more than cruises. We do river cruises, as Gary knows, and we also take people around the world on either escorted tours or excursions. So really what I like to say to people, if you want to be anywhere else but at home, we're the people to call, because we can get you there.
That's fabulous, and I appreciate it. all your effort in the trips that we've gone to, and it's been phenomenal. So, all right, if we have others that join us, we'll have them introduce themselves at the end. The topic, of course, is Tips on Mastering Online Newsletter Part 2, and so let's go right into it. We're going to recap a little bit of what we did last time, and also do some comparisons here and give you one nice important tip there. Paper.Li is a natural language, meaning that it takes it takes the natural language of the consumer rather than the industry. So the buzzwords and terminology that's used in the newsletter is generated from the audience rather than from the industry experts. So it's becomes a user-friendly kind of newsletter through the automation that they have built into the type of newsletter, and we'll show you some of that automation. So as a result, it does a targeting for you. It brings in relative and engaging content. So we're going to show you some newsletters, do some chat, and of course the three that we're involved in: the FBI Apps Software Daily, the Tull News by FBI Apps, which Richard will talk about, and then a brand new one that we have now to supplement our activities here, Tips in Bytes. And what this comes out it does come out weekly on a Sunday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. And this is going to supplement our activities. We were doing webinars once a month. Now we've changed our format to do webinars once a quarter, and this will supplement the tips from this industry, the marketing and business, social media, and so forth in between. So, and we can show you how that's going to work. Okay, so now for the comparison, you might be wondering, what does the LI stand for? Well, that's actually an internet country code. It's a top-level domain country for, if I say this, I list the stand, right? It's a German language company landlocked between Switzerland and Austria. I don't know if, Rick, you're being a traveler, have you ever been to Lististan?
I haven't been there, but it's one of the smallest countries in the world. I know that.
Okay, well, this product is actually made there, and unfortunately, they've got an English version, which is kind of nice, right? Anyway, so they have two versions. They have a free versus a pro, and the pro is $9 per month, and we use both. The first two newsletters, the FBI Apps and the Tull newsletter, use the pro version, and the latest one, the Tips in Bytes, uses the free version. So we can show you a comparison there. The major differences are in the columns here. The number of sources, for example, in the free version is only 10, and we'll show you what sources mean. And in the pro version, you can get up to 25. It's shared automatically on the web with Twitter in the free version, but in the pro, it's Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. So they have that built into their automation. When you do an article, it goes out to those three sources automatically. Draft mode in the free version is live all the time. There's no draft mode; you can't take it offline. But the pro version, you can take it offline and work on it, and that's what Richard does with the Tull newsletter. And also, the ads are live all the time in the free version, and not that way in the pro version. MailChimp, we use MailChimp to announce our activities here once a quarter. You can't do that with the free version, but you can do it with the pro version. There's a custom look. The graphics, the header, the banner, the columns, how you want to arrange it. No with free, yes with pro. And there's a subscription form that's available on the pro version only. So those are some of the main highlights. There's a whole list there on the right. You could take a look. It's right out there on the website. They also give you a discount if you buy 1 year at a time. You save 1 month. Basically you pay for 11 months rather than 12 months if you buy it all at once. Okay, here's the tip that, and this was a painful tip really that we found out, that it really works exclusively or better with Chrome and not with the other browsers. Firefox, Safari, Explorer, or Edge there's a downside to using the newsletter with those browsers. When you're creating it, if you're viewing it, any browser is fine. But when you're creating, doing some editing, Chrome is the best. Some of the drop downs do not work on the other browsers. So this is our tip, and they really don't address this other than in the they have a blog, and you'll see this come up in the blog from time to time. So there's the tip on that. Rich, did you have anything to say about Chrome on that?
Yeah, it's easier to navigate with the Chrome. I mean, the other ones work, but you find that you can't move things around, or you just can't grab things appropriately. So Chrome is the one to work with.
Okay, very good. All right. The relevant content. You get to pick how you want your newsletter to populate with information, and so the news sources you get to pick in both the pro and the free version. So here are some examples. You can use Facebook, Twitter, any handles that you have, or members or people that you're following, or sources that are following you. You could put these all together, especially if they're good sources for the industries. But like travel, you could put in Royal Caribbean, you could put in Carnival, you could put in whatever. If they have their own blogs and information, which they normally do, especially if they're a large company, you could put those into your newsletter very easily. So we're going to demonstrate what this means when we get to the newsletter. So at this time, I'm going to take off my headset. We're going to show you just a quick demo of how to put together the FBI app software daily. And let me know if you don't hear the audio. All right, so we're going to escape from the PowerPoint here and go into the demo. Okay. Okay, right there it is. Okay.
There it is.
And done a lot of work in the way of developer evangelism, and also we helped write the endorsed Tull app that's been published. So that's a little bit about myself. So anyway, let's go ahead and get into the topic at hand here. So we created a URL here, news.FastinoBrothers.com. That is the custom domain that we have established for this particular news feed, and you can get that with the pro version of Paper.Li. You get a lot of free stuff, but if you want something like that, a custom URL, I think it's around $9 or $10 a month. So let's go ahead and take a look at some of the dashboard settings here on the right when you go to edit up a newspaper. Of course, you have global settings, and this is where I just changed the name to FBI apps, put that right in there. There's a subtitle, stay on top of what's happening in the software industry as reported by over 400 influentials in the industry. We'll get back to that one right there because that's a very important point. And then also we have more information about general global settings. Now the content is really the most important thing. And what you can do is you can add content sources by clicking on the content source. You can go get your sources from Twitter, Facebook, a website with RSS feeds, Google Plus sources, and YouTube sources. So you really can gather quite a few news feeds from various sources. You can also manually add in an article too if you want to go ahead and just go out to a site and add in a particular URL. You can do it right here as well. But what I did was I created some content sources, and for example, when I worked with Component 1, I had the Ruscam TV Twitter, and I interviewed over 400 influencers, and I put them all on a list that I have up on Twitter. You can see right there, Ruscam-interviewees. So one technique is to build a list on Twitter, and then you can use that list to drive the input sources. And then also I did a news feed I had from good developer sources, as well as various tweets that you can monitor with. They did any hashtags or got Visual Studio in them, or app dev or WP dev. I'm capturing those tweets. We got feeds from Channel 9, Scott Guthrie, MSDN Online. A lot of great resources here. Android developers. We got tweets mentioning Xamarin in here, UWP, FBI apps. Those are all in the paper. So that's a very important piece to this. The success of your newsletter are the sources. Then take a look at some of the advanced settings here. You have various paper selections that you can do, and you can have, like here I've got business turned on, education turned on, science, and stories. If there was more that you wanted to have appear in your newsletter, you can go ahead and do that as well. If you are doing this competitively and you do have like say competitors you want to keep out of your newsletter, you can blacklist those people on websites so that they will not appear on your final version of the newsletter. And then you have all these modules for social media. Social media, you've got the ability to connect to a particular social media account. You can share what's on the top article. You can share a web newspaper link. I have that one turned on. Also, you have the ability to set some appearance things with a paper thumbnail and any kind of call to actions that you want to go ahead and utilize. Now, the web newspaper itself, you have the ability to do a public web newspaper. You can get the custom domain, which you can see we did here. Again, that's a pro option. The layout and appearance, you can go ahead and tweak how this thing looks as well as any kind of embeds. And you got stats here to kind of see how many people are looking at your site. And then also on that, you have MailChimp. You can manage to help you get the word out about your newsletter, and also there's an HTML export. So very important thing here in the upper right corner of the newsletter, you can see subscribe to the email newsletter. So there we're building up a nice subscriber base that get this on a daily basis, as well as our Jethro Tull endorsed newsletter too that we have. So yeah, this is Russ Faustino signing off here. Give you a little bit of the behind-the-scenes look at what appears in the FBI Apps Software Daily. And let me tell you, if there's anything new in the software industry that day, you will see it in this newsletter. So make sure you subscribe to the Software Daily just by simply putting your email address here at news.faustinobrothers.com. Thank you very much.
Okay, so let's get back to the
Very good.
PowerPoint. How'd you like that? That sound good? You have good audio there?
Yes, no problem.
Okay. All right, very nice. Now, I have my headset off. If I need to put it back on, just let me know if you're getting a hum or anything of that nature.
It's fine.
It's fine right now? Okay. All right, so Rich, if you want to give us some tips and chat about the
all right.
the Tull news, if you like, I guess switch the screen to you, or you stay here.
Yes. Go ahead, switch the screen. It's okay.
Okay. All right.
I'm waiting for the screen to pop up.
Okay.
He's hitting it now. Anyways, the letter has some nice little features in it. Don't have the screen yet. Taking control. Let's see. Do you see my screen now?
Not yet.
All right. Let's see what.
I'm seeing a message that says waiting for presenter to share their screen.
Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Okay, nobody can see the screen yet. All right, we'll talk about it and see if it comes on. It says the screen. I'm selecting everything. It should be right now as we speak. There it is. Has it come on now? There you go.
Yeah, we're having a glitch. There you are.
I can see it now.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, so in the newsletter, there's a little archive button, and if you click on that, it tells you when you last published it, and it's usually around the 5th I do it. You could see the 9th in August, nothing in July. I was quite busy. Twice in June. So that's kind of nice, and you can click on any of those to bring those up to see what you've already done. That's kind of neat. And our latest one has the email in the corner, and it really has really great things in it. We included videos on their bottom. We got all kinds of things that Jethro Tull's Martin Bar in concert, but there's so many things. And the nice thing about this is you can work on it one day and save it and come back to it, and you can sign in, and you've got all kinds of things. This is all the articles. That's what I go through when I'm checking out which ones I want to keep, and you can exit. These things can be moved around. You can move one up or bring it down. And the headlines is probably the most important one, so I always look for a good headline. So this is not automated. I do this monthly, and during the month I'll have a couple of
Manually,
good
you select the
articles.
content.
And then when you're done, Russ said you can bring an art. Yeah, yeah. And usually it takes a couple hours to, finalize everything. I would say within 15 minutes you got a good format, and then you just kind of tweak it. So that's about it for the newsletter. I'm very happy with the videos and the entertainment section, and I'm working on next month's already. Trying to stay ahead of the time, and you don't publish it until you hit publish, and it goes out immediately then. Take it back, Gary. How do you do that?
I'm going to take it back.
Stop.
All right, you should come back to me here momentarily. You hear my audio? I put the headset back on, so is that good? Testing,
Yeah.
1, 2. Audio. We hear audio. Okay. All right. So there's this, and now we're going to get into the brand new Tips in Bytes, which helps supplement our quarterly live webinar. This would be out every day, just about Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And this is more automated than what Richard with Russell. Richard just demonstrated.
Yeah, I can't see your screen, brother. As you got the screen back.
Okay, let's see here.
Yeah. All right, there it is.
You see it?
Nope.
Not yet.
Take it back.
Share my screen. Here we go.
Okay. Now we got it.
There we go. Okay.
Go ahead.
Thank you very much for that tip. All right. So now I'll click back to the presentation here.
There you go.
There we go. So now we have Tips and Bytes, and as you can see, as I was pointing out, whoop, can't use the mouse too much. We publish it on Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, and it's more automated than what Richard was just demonstrating with as manual. He's actually placing the content in there, where this is bringing up feeds similar to the one that Russell demonstrated,
right,
as well. All right. So let me get out of this, and I'm going to show you that newsletter. First thing to know is that you have to be, the way Paper.Li works is you need to be logged into Twitter first. And that's our second big tip of the presentation. As you see here, I have a couple accounts. Just my Gary Faustino account there, the In Business Design for Communication, and then the Faustino Brothers with the three brothers icon. So I'm logged in. We registered Paper.Li with the Faustino Brothers. So you have to be logged into your Twitter account first. So that's the important thing, and that you lose some of the functionality if you're not logged into Twitter. Okay, so that's it there. Now I'll go to my Chrome newsletter right here. On the Chrome browser, we have I'm logged in right here. You can see all the papers that we have. We have the Tips and Bytes, the new one, the Tull News by FBI Apps, and then the software publication is under a different account from Faustino Brothers, so it's not listed here. But any newsletters that you have would be listed there. You have a gearbox here for controls on the right side. I don't know if I could make this bigger for you. I'll zoom out. There. So that gives you right here. And this is some of the things that Russell was talking about in the video. You've got your global settings, where, of course, where you pick your name, you do your subtitle, and so forth, and give a little description. All this feeds into your Twitter, Facebook, and so forth. So that's very important to get that information correct, or something that's going to be meaningful for your organization. Your ad content sources, we were saying that the free version only allows you to do 10, and what that is you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here under social media. Then you could also do websites, or you could do handles or tags. So all those count as sources. All right, so there you are. Those are some of the sources that we're using for this newsletter. And while we're into the Twitter account that I want to show you is that I'm going to go to our Twitter account now and show you how you actually could get more than 10 sources, but from one source. For example, Twitter, you could have an unlimited number of sources. I'm going to bring that up for you. Okay, and here's the account now. You see, here's the following the followers. So what you do to capture new sources, actually log into your account. I'm going to log back into the Festino Brothers account. So let's log out here and log back in. Okay. And here we should be logging on now. Oh. There we are. Okay, so here we are with the Twitter account. Now you see the people that are following us and who we're following. We're following these and they are following us. So you could click on the following, for example. And these are the sources where you want to get more information from, especially in this case, the Jump Up Tull newsletter. So you want people, organizations that are doing a song activity or something like this. So what you do is that there's this ... Do you see the little ... I can bring up the view again here.
It's good.
That's good. So if you go here, you say add or remove to lists, and you can see in my newsletter I've already put it in tips and bits.
Right.
In the Tull News, we also want this for Tull News, so you could put that into the Tull News right there. And what you do is, rather than create a new list, you exit out of that. And those sources now get automatically fed into those two newsletters.
Oh.
Let's try another one here. Spotify, you probably would want that. I'm thinking that's already in your list, Richard, or can be. It's in mine, so we're going to put it in yours.
Add it. Good.
Yeah, right. And that's all there is to it. So when they publish a blog or a feed or any information, Apple Music would be another good one for Jump Up Tull.
Right. Okay.
Right? So that's a list right there. There you go. And so now, if there's a certain section of the Tull News that is automated, and I think that's where it automatically brings up the videos and so forth, and the back pages of your newsletter. That's where all this information comes. So that's how easy it is there. So basically, it's a workaround. You actually are now gaining more than 10 sources in your newsletter by the one source of having Twitter activated. So that's a nice thing. Okay, so that's the demonstration on the sources. And so now we'll go back to the PowerPoint here. All right. Where you can find us is we have a website right here. Oh, back up one. And there, I wanted to go out and show it to you. Right there, this is the website for Tips and Bits. So you're going to see our presentations there as well our information that we're presenting are about the three brothers, of course, and so forth, and a contact form for you to get in touch with us, and also the services that we're rendering here. So you can take a look at that. So we'll go back to the PowerPoint here again. And we also have the Twitter feed, as you see there, and also our Facebook page. I just want to click on that. Oh, it's not going out to the Facebook page. It should have. All right. So that's our demonstration for today. Our main 3 newsletters are at these URLs that you see there on the screen. This video will be up on inbusinessseo.net, and our next free webinar will be after the new year as we leap into 2018, January 8th. And then, of course, if you want direct information on Paper.Li, you can go right out to their website, Paper.Li, or their blog, Paper.Li. And that will give you abundance information. So I think what we've shown here today in summary is that you could do quite a bit with the free version, and especially if you're just capturing news sources or information from an industry that's already, if the industry already has very good PR departments and they're already publishing a lot of information and you have access to that information, you could all put it all together. Trailblazer was a perfect thing because you have several sources, like, as I mentioned before, Royal Caribbean, Carnival, Norwegian Lines, and so forth. All those sources, you could put them together into your own travel agency newsletter and have it automatically populate anytime you want, weekly, monthly, daily, or whatever. And then if you want to customize it, if you have some local flair or activities that you're doing here locally that you want to promote, you can always do it manually, as Richard was doing with the newsletter, plugging that material in. So are there any questions at this point?
So a couple. If you start off with the free version and then intend to upgrade to the paid version, do you have to change any of your outline, or can you make that conversion without starting all over?
Yes, you can make that conversion without starting all over, and then
you can add things to it.
You can immediately be able to change your headline, add graphics, change the layout from single column to 2 column or 3 column, and you immediately get the subscription box, which is very important. That's one thing the free version lacks is to get new subscribers right on the newsletter. We could do it through Twitter or Facebook or through the website that you create, but not on the newsletter, which is really a disadvantage with the free version.
It's a good way to start, however.
Yeah, it's a good way to start. And as we move along, we might move to the pro version on this 3rd newsletter. Yeah.
And I did have another question. Oh, these feeds. So, like you say, if I had the feeds from all the cruise lines,
right,
some of my land vendors, and if they're really busy, as some of them are, I mean, they could be posting 12 articles a day.
That's
so the
right.
newsletter would be constantly being updated, or do I have to go in and select which articles I want and which articles I don't want?
Yes, you could go in there and select, and you could do the interval. You could select the interval too. So if it's going to be too busy, you might want to do it once a week, so it just refreshes once a week rather than daily, because there might be enough content for people to read.
The reason I'm thinking that is I do have vendors that must use something similar to this. I get their news feed every day, and there's new information on there. But I don't want to be sending this to my clients every day.
Right.
If I only want to send it once a week or once every 2 weeks.
That's a good idea. Yeah.
And that's exactly why I picked. That was the same rationale I had for right here, only doing it on select days. Right here, the Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I might drop off Friday as well, and because I didn't want to bother people on Monday, for example, and I thought by the time you get to Friday, you don't want any news about that, your social media or whatever. You've got your own life to live, But as you get back into the work week, it would be very important. So I'm selecting the days that, rather than making this a daily, selecting the days that this comes out.
Yeah, see, my clients are different. The most newsworthy day is usually Tuesdays, but most people are more interested in thinking about travel on Fridays and Saturdays.
Right, okay.
So
you would include that, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're industry specific, so people, that's usually when they start thinking about something.
Yeah. Now, the only thing I have to edit out is a lot of my feeds are Germany and Japan, and it's in different languages. So if you want to be multi-language, you would leave them in. But a lot of the concerts that are in England, I leave in there. But if it's in German, I take it out. Or if it's in Spanish, I take it out. I might leave one in there so that the readers can look at it. So you have to edit it the way you want to present it. That's all I can say.
And the editing is only with the pro version.
Right.
Unless you don't include it in your feed. If you had in Twitter, if it's coming through in a different language, you could edit it there. But once it gets into the Paper.Li on the free version, it's not editable until you buy the pro version. Yeah, or you could select. But you could on those sources. Let me just go back a slide or two here. I just wanted to show you here, for example, if I bring that back up, you could pick the particular feed that you want. So if there's, like, for example, I wouldn't pick any of my competition that are doing say websites as a business, but I would pick somebody like Google that's talking about how to best practices for designing a website, that type of thing. So you could select your sources you could target it very scrupulously, yeah. And so that might help you in cutting down on the content. Yeah. Okay, so let me stop the recording here.